everybody. Yes. Oh, hi. Let there, let there be light, and there was light. Okay, we start a little bit off. Welcome. I know we start a little bit behind the schedule, but as you can hear, my voice seems like it wants to play tricks on me. But I am not here to entertain my voice playing tricks on me. Okay, so again, no, I'm not into the playing tricks. So when I finish here, I'm gonna have my tea and I'm gonna do all my good stuff. I should be having my tea right now. My tea should be sitting next to me. That's what I should be doing. Having my tea and sitting next to me so I could sip. Right? I could be sipping right now. But anywho, um, such is life. Such is life. Anywho, welcome to another episode of the Question Live Show with your host, the one and only moi, Verona Willis-Brown, and we are here together as we are celebrating. And for those of you who are out there celebrating Valentine's Day, right now you're probably out there having dinner, spending money, buying flowers, buying balloon, buying teddy bear, buying candy, and all that stuff. But let me tell you something. What's gonna happen tomorrow? Huh? Let me ask you this. After you buy all that teddy bears, how many teddy bears you bought? You buy the teddy bear, you buy the perfume, you buy the chocolate. No, we don't want no chocolate, okay? Because we're not trying to put on no extra sugar, okay? So you buy the chocolate, you buy the flowers that's gonna die in the next couple of days. I was outside and I saw some little fleazy flowers. Okay. I don't know where people go with that flowers because I'm looking at these men like, if y'all bringing me those flowers, I don't want it. These flowers look like they were coming from somewhere. Okay. I mean, the little bunch of flowers like this much. And I'm like, where y'all going with that? So if I was the person that they were taking those flowers to, I'd be like, no. Because I remember sometimes, some years back when Valentine's Day was Valentine's Day and people were going shopping and buying roses. And I mean roses. Long stem roses, short stem, one, two, three. Roses. Roses used to be fresh. And roses was just everywhere. Was just everywhere. Now I barely saw roses. All I saw was like little flowers, like little baby flowers. I don't even know what these flowers are called. Little baby flowers I'm seeing now. And I'm like, what is this? Like, I don't even remember seeing lily. Okay. I don't see tulips. Tulips was a thing and roses and all those things. And you get some long stem, 12 long stem roses delivered to you, or surprised with long stem roses and beautiful flowers arrangement and basket, fruit basket, and all this stuff. Now I'm telling you, I was just outside. I was just outside because again, you hear me? I was just outside trying to get me some fresh pineapples and stuff. Because fresh pineapple gonna work. I was outside getting some fresh pineapple at the supermarket, and I was like, "What is this y'all buying?" People buying like little globe with a little flower sitting. And I was like, "What is this y'all getting?" You know what? Y'all should be getting a book. That's what y'all should be getting. Get a book that's gonna leave a lasting impact on somebody, because them flowers ain't gonna last for the rest of the week. Mhm. They got little plant food in there, but how long them plant gonna eat them food? Them flowers gonna be dried up. Right? Them flowers gonna be dried up. You're gonna have them up in your house and they're gonna be dried up unless you're gonna be finding a trick to keep them. You know, there's a trick to keep those flowers fresh. I learned this trick a long time ago, especially your roses. But I believe you can use for all flowers, but I know it was used for roses. You get the roses and you turn them upside down, and the water from the stem go back into the petal, and it retain the freshness of that flower. Yeah, you can put it like in a little bag, a little ziploc bag, put it upside down and good. Or you put it in the bag and then you put it in your freezer and it retain the freshness. Okay. So these are our story, right? But anywho, as we in this Black History Month, I told you this last night that I am not gonna say that. Well, actually, I'm going to sit, but I'm just not going to exercise it because no, you're not going to call me a color. I'm not a crayon or a marker. You are not going to do that. I told her that when we're talking about history, is that when we are talking about our high story, because the word history, it says high story, high story. So it's saying, hi, I want to tell you my story. And that's the reason why we are coming on for the rest of this month, most likely for the rest of this month. And I'm going to be telling you my story. If you have a story you would like to share it, then by all means, get in touch with me so you can share your story as well. If you're on this channel and you would like to share your story, type it in the comment section, whatever it is, so we all can get your story as well. But hopefully by the end of this month, I should be able to tell you more and more of my story, right? And that's what I said. And I said, hi, I'm coming in to tell you my story. And that is how you call history. Because we hear history and people are saying that it says history like a gender. And then they go and they're like, oh, we don't want no gender, we don't want no male gender, his. So we're gonna say her story. No, her story is no. But you see, there's just a deep competition between the genders. That like, why we're building such a deep competition between the genders? There's no need for competition between the genders. History, her story. No, this one saying history, her story. Just create your own story, right? Just come on in and do the same thing as I did. Hi, I'm here to tell you my story. Hi, story. That's what it says. It doesn't say history. It doesn't say his story. It does not say that, because if it was saying his story, it would have said HISSSTORY, but it says HIS only. So as you can see, it's not his story. So why are we creating this this thing? We want to be this gender thing and this gender competitive thing. No, let us stop that. So anywho, it's just a scratch in my throat. So anywho, I want to say welcome. It is Friday. It is going into the weekend. Actually, it is weekend for somebody right about now. So welcome to the weekend. Welcome to the strong end. Welcome to the strong beginning. We don't want to even use weekend. Weekend. We want to say strong beginning. Okay. When we start saying strong beginning, it simply means that we are beginning something. We are rising up with a different kind of strength. We are rising with a different kind of mentality. We want to exercise the right to use our consciousness and to tap into our consciousness and to live up on our consciousness and use that and be more aware of the things that we say, the things that we do, and the mentality that we have. Because when we do such, we are achieving a goal in such unique way. And when we achieve a goal in such unique way, it will surely display that we are different, but yet we are the same. And when we are the same, simply mean that we show up with our unique self and we tap in and we work with the spirit of collaboration, which we've been talking about. We're working with the spirit of collaboration and we showcase that which we can do uniquely. And as we talk about that, one of my creation right there is so creatively. It's just we got created so unique. And I mean uniquely created that I even surprised myself. I surprised my own self. I'm like, who does that? Right? And I'm like, oh my goodness. Who does this? Who created stuff like this? But it's me. It's my greater self. It's my childlike self. It's me tapping into my natural being. It's me tapping into my authentic self. It is me, right? So you can do the same thing too. Now, on this show, we tell you that we create a safe space, a very, very safe space where you come on in. Oh, I didn't do that. Hold on. This is a very safe space, okay? Where you come on in with your story and you come on in and we share together and we create together and we build together. Because when we create and build together, we are here to replenish the earth. Sorry, hold on. We want to create a space where we replenish the earth in such a way. We want to be fruit. Our intended purpose when we're created It was to work together, build together, and replenish the earth. Simply mean that we are tapping into our greatness, we are tapping into our gifts and our talent, and we're replenishing the earth, right? So we are going to be fruit. We want to be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. So that is how we are going to come in today, and we are going to do just that. So whatever is it that you create, we work on that together. Whatever you have going on, we have something. We all have something going on as well. And because we all have something going on as well, we want to tap into that. And because we are into this month, I said we don't want to call it Black History Month, because I think about it, and when we talk about Black History Month, we keep on resurrecting the pain, right? We keep on resurrecting the pain and the trauma. So we don't want to do that. So before we jump into all of that, before we jump into our high story, I want to say happy birthday to anybody out there who's celebrating their birthday this month. Let me tell you, my family, you too. Yes, we do have birthday this month. Again, I told you last month, but last month was just filled up with birthdays. I'm like, what is happening? Right, last month had so many birthdays in my family. Every time I tell them, like, oh, it's my birthday. That's my birthday. It's my birthday. And when it was not in my immediate family, I mean, I turned and was like, oh, today's my birthday. Today's my birthday. Today's my birthday. So people were just having birthday left, right, and center every single day in January. And I'm like, come on, people. What is happening? Come on. Right? I'm like, man, y'all doing a lot. But when I look now, we are in the 13, 14, 15 day in February. Let me tell you something. We are having birthdays again up in my family. I mean, people that I know, and my family don't simply mean that is my biological family. When I talk about my family, I talk about people that I know, that I'm close, that I found as my extended family, that I formed as my extended family. And I'm like, it's your birthday too? Yes, your birthday too. Yes, your birthday too. So we just having birthdays. I just want to give a big shout out to all the birthday people out there, whether immediate family or not, you know, brother, sister, mother, next door neighbor, dog, cat, rat. It don't matter. We just want to say birthday shout out to you out there. And because we want to say birthday shout out to you out there, if it is your birthday in this month, put in the comment section so we can celebrate you. Because what we got to understand is that when we celebrate each other, it is a form of support. So as we talk about support, support simply means that we work together. And when we work together, we are replenishing the earth. When we work together, what is happening? We are going on this journey. We are adding on to this journey. There's a journey called life. And we are all on this journey together. And when we are all on this journey together, we are going to cross paths. When we cross paths, we are crossing paths to build our success story. And when we build our success story, what is going to happen? We realize that we cannot do that by ourselves. We cannot build our success story by ourselves. It doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, it doesn't matter what position we are in right now or what position we are going after, we're about to achieve. We cannot get there by ourselves. It doesn't matter whether you are the president, the prime minister, the governor, the mayor, the teacher, the student, the doctor. It doesn't matter what position you're in. If you are a world leader, simply mean you didn't get there by yourself. Somebody helped you get there. Somebody is in your space. Somebody is in your team. You got a team. So therefore, it's the same concept applied to any one of us, that we are about to achieve something. We want to achieve something. We desire to achieve something. We dreaming to achieve something. I say to you, listen, let us work together. You out there, let us work together. You in here, let us work together. It's not going to take much. All we got to do is show up. When we show up and we take action. When we show up and take action, what happened? The action will equal to manifestation. So let us continue to work hard and smart and work together. We are working with the spirit of collaboration because we are in the season of 2025, 2025. It is a season of spillover. It is a season of splash and dash. It is a season of extension. It is a season of spirit of collaboration. We're in. You have something that I need. I have something that you need. And I see that you need it. You see that I need it. Search for me. I search for you. And we work together. This is the season. This 2025 is a season of collaboration. What does that simply mean? It simply means the gifts and the talent that you are blessed with. You cannot manage it by yourself. It simply means that somebody needs something, a percentage of you, a percentage of your gifts and your talents to develop theirs. Everybody's gifts and talents are different. So when you use your gifts and your talents and you tap into somebody else and we work on that spirit of collaboration, we are working to build together. Because when we build together, we are growing together. And the more we work together, is the stronger we will be. So we want to work together. We want to understand that when we collaborate, it is working together. So let me tell you something. It is the spirit of collaboration. It is a season of collaboration. Make yourself available to help somebody else. Make yourself available to receive help. Make yourself available to ask for help. Make yourself available to show up and take action. We have planted before. And when we planted before, the harvest is there. And the harvest, like, I'm springing up. I'm springing up. And the reason why I like to use the word harvest is because if you are new on this channel, I would like to know that you are new. But if you are not new on this channel, you hear I talk about this before, that I am a farmer's daughter. I am a farmer's daughter. So I oftentimes use the story of my background or the analogy of a farmer, saying that I'm a farmer's daughter and I watched the planting of seeds and grains of my father and my mother and watched the crop grow. So it's the same thing. I watch the harvest come in and they have to go to the market and sell stuff. So it's the same thing as we are happening right here. We plant some seeds somewhere. Maybe it is 2 years ago. Maybe it is 3 years ago. Maybe it is 4 years ago. Maybe it's 5 years ago. Maybe it's 10 years ago. Maybe it's some time ago that we don't even remember that we planted. Maybe we went somewhere and we planted some seed and we forgot that we planted on somebody's land. Maybe we stepped somewhere and we planted something and we so far gone we don't remember that we were on that land. But guess what? The soil remembers you. The soil remember what is put in there. And either its soil is going to sit there for a while or it's going to just spring right up. But whatever the case is, wherever we have planted, whether it is 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago, whether it is 5 years ago, whether it is 5 months ago, whatever we have planted within a time frame, this is the season that we are about to reap it. And not only reap it, but we are about to expand on it. We are about to share it, because when we share that which we have from the harvest was 2024, if you don't know. The harvest was 2024, but what happened? We having a roll over of the crop that we had. Not that crop, not the negative crop. The crop simply means the food from the farm, the food that we planted, we're having a roll over from it. So simply means while we're having a roll over, somebody's going to be in the path of us. It is for us to spill out and give to somebody. It is for us to pour into somebody. It is for us to stretch our hand and say, come on, let me help you. It is for me to, it is a season where I said, come on, let me help you. Or you say, I want to help you. Somebody is pouring in. It is a pour in, pour in, pour in. Because the more we pour in, we hear this before, we can only serve from overflow. We're already past the overflow. We are not in the spill over section. Right? And because we're in the spill over section, that overflow is going to still going. The overflow is not stopping. So simply means if it is overflowing, what is going to happen? Like if you go to a river and the river is overflowing, the rocks are in the way, it's splashing on the rocks. The trees in the way, it's splashing on the trees. So that is the season that we're in right now. So I want you to gather that up into your spirit and know that we are in that season to spill over when someone come in our space. It's for us to pour into them and for them to pour back. We don't keep on pouring and emptying out. We want to be replenished. And that is the whole point of the word replenish, that we replenish the earth. So it means if I pour into you, you pour back into me, or somebody has come and pour back into me. Therefore, I'm not depleted, but we are replenishing the earth. So the replenishment is going back and forth, and then we become fruitful, multiply, and the earth is risen up. So we are in a season where we want the herd to be uprising. We want humanity to lift up their head. We want to work in a place where we are lifting humanity with our gifts and our talent. We want to be compassionate. We want to be sharing love and kindness and peace. We want to share that. So with that said, I want to tell you that on this show, we like to use F words. Yeah. I use 3 F words because those F words get me flowing, right? But that's not one of them. It's faith, fun, and family. The reason why I use these F words is because they stand as my little pocket. They stand as my little bubble. Like, it's the faith that I had that allowed me to get here to 368 episodes. And not because it's the faith, but because I continue to push and tap into the little faith that I started, that was just wavering like that. I tap into it, and because I tap into it, it says, go on, go on, go on, go on, go on. It allowed me to get to 368 episodes. Even then, those days when I'm like, I don't want to do this, I still show up, right? Right now, I'm like, oh, I should go to sleep. I should go to sleep. But right now, I'm still showing up. Why? Because I believe when we're not showing up for ourselves. We are showing up for others. We are showing up for our generations to come. So keep on showing up. Take care of yourself and keep on showing up. So again, those of you out there, you're having your Thanksgiving meal, you're out there booing up and all sort of stuff. But listen, if you are booing up, go right ahead and boo on up. But one thing I'm going to tell you, that your story is going to be your story. You're not creating a Black history story. You're creating your story, right? So again, go ahead, boo up if you want. Boo up if you want. Do what is it that is best for you. But me personally, going to tell you, it is my story, and my story is my story. And so, with that said, last night we started out, we are telling you that I'm going to talk about my story. So, for those of you who don't know, I am a native of the most beautiful place in the world, that is Jamaica. I'm from that most beautiful place. If you don't believe me, check the news, check the news, check the news. If you don't believe me, check, check, check. And if you are not Jamaican and you're not agreeing with me, and you're somewhere and you got a percentage of Jamaican in your system, whether by marriage, whether by whatever relationship you are in, hey, go ahead and exercise the right to say that Jamaica is the best place ever. That's the reason why you're with a Jamaican if you're not a Jamaican, right? And if you're Jamaican, then that's a whole different story. But if you are with a Jamaican, then you know why. Because it's the best place ever. And now, with that said, because I'm a native of Jamaica, I like to say that we stand our ground and we have stories. We have stories. So if you're out there and you're Jamaican, we have stories. Everybody have stories. So I like to share my personal story. And if you can relate to my story, then by all means, last night, if you were here last night, I share my story. If somebody else in the audience was related to the story. If you can't relate to the story, then hey, okay. Now, if you have no form of relationship, no form of Jamaican relationship, I would encourage you to get a Jamaican friend. Right? Get a Jamaican friend, because you see, we're talking about a lot of F words. So get a Jamaican friend. Those are what you call family. Get a Jamaican friend. We talk about faith, fun, and family. Family simply mean that you don't have to be my biological family. Simply mean it's you that here. It is you that allow me to show up for 368 episodes. It's you that watch my videos. It's you that watch my live. It is you that comment. It is you that subscribe. It is you that share. It is you that's called family, right? So listen, if you don't have a Jamaican friend right now, friend, go ahead go ahead and get yourself a Jamaican friend right now, because you're going on a thing or two, right? But another thing that we like to do over here, we like to have fun. And Jamaicans, I speak on behalf of my country people. We like to have fun. Yes, we do. We like to have fun. We like to have fun. We go out there and we have fun. We have a good time. So anybody who visited Jamaica, anybody who not a Jamaican by nationality, if you have not visited Jamaica, we need to talk, because I'm telling you, we are a whole vibe. Yep, we're a whole vibe, darling. So yeah, we like to have fun. So with that, listen. Last night we talked about what we talked about last night. Coconut and the good stuff that we used to eat, the snack that we used to eat, and so forth. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Excuse me, people. I think something is kicking in. I think I need to go take something else. is kicking in. Anywho, let me tell you something about us. Let me tell you something about us, honey. We're going to drink some tea, all right? Because one thing I'd like to talk about my parents, especially my mama. My mama would step in the kitchen and she made sure that she take care of you. My mama was a community mother. She was a community mother. She would take care of the community. She take care of her children because your community really starts in your household, right? So she built her community in her household because a lot. I came from a huge family. Yes, I do. I came from a huge family. And because I came from a huge family, that was a whole community. But my mom cared for those outside of the household. So we had a huge family, okay? Huge family inside, outside. I had siblings. We were just like going back and forth. We just do a lot of things together. Anybody know what it is to share clothes? I told you I got my story. These are the high story of me. Okay, high story. Okay, I'm sitting here right now, but I got stories. So come on in here, right? Come on in here. Let me share them with you. So some high story. Listen, you gotta have some low story to reach the high story. So it take me some low story to get to this high. So like, hi, let me tell you my story, honey. Come on in here. Like, are you in that family? Can you relate that you in that family where you have to share clothes? Huh? If you don't know anything about that, then honey, that's history, okay? When I talk about my story, I'm talking about the history. I'm talking about what was created. That's what history simply means. History means something was created and now it is being utilized. Now it got expanded and it's swung right on up here. It is here, okay? That's what history means. History means something was written and now we are still using it. Something was done and we are using it. So I'm telling you right now that something was done and they're like, let me see how I can operate on what was done and see how I can build from that. So I'm telling you right now, my stories, come on in here, let me tell you. So these are some stories that they are my high story. Hi, I want to tell you my story, right? So these are my high story where I'm telling you that if you had siblings like I did, if you had siblings like what I did, yeah, I had sisters. So therefore, some of the clothes you had to share. You had to share those clothes. And if you're Jamaican and you can relate, then by all means, come on in and relate to the story. Because I'm trying to let you know something that we sit there and we share some clothes. Well, if your shoe could fit, then hey, wear the shoe too. But we share clothes, you know what I'm saying? Or we call them the hand-me-down. The hand-me-down clothes. Anybody out there know about the hand-me-down clothes? Honey? That hand-me-down clothes. You waiting for somebody clothes to grow out of their clothes. You're like, ooh, I like that blouse. I like that dress. But one thing I tell you that, in as much that we had hand-me-down, we had a lot of clothes. In as much as we had hand-me-down, my mother was a dressmaker. So we had clothes made. So I'm used to custom made clothes from a very long time. So anybody see like my pages and I talk about my custom made outfits and so forth and so forth. Like I like to go to designers and get custom made clothes. It's because I was born in it. Darling, I was born in a designer house. So right now when I'm like, I need a designer, honey, it's not that I'm brand new to designer. My mama was one. So when I want a designer, I want somebody good like my mama or better. Okay. So I grew up in a designer house. My mama would make our clothes. And baby, you better know your clothes might be made from a curtain or a sheet. You might just be having a sheet somewhere that she's not going to use or a fancy, she ain't going to use her fancy sheet. That's for Sunday, darling. That's for Sunday. Anybody know what I'm talking about? And she would take that sheet, click, 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 and make you something real fast. You get yourself a nice little dress or a nice little skirt and go on about your business now. Yep, indeed. But I tell you what, those are the days. Those are my story. I could share my story with you. I could definitely share my story with you. If you have a story almost as close as this, I would love to hear it. Yeah, I would love to hear your story if your story is this close to mine, that you get to share your family story. You get to share your sibling clothes. You get to wear something. You get your clothes custom made. You get to go to the local barber. You get to like, oh my God, like there's so much I could tell you right now. But see, if you come on in here, don't be in the back and just sit there. Come on in the back and say hi to us, right? Because I want you to share this live and let people know that we are talking about our story. Yep, we want people to talk about we want to talk about our story in such a way. Yep, talk about our story in such a light that you just, oh my gosh, when we talk about our story like this, it doesn't matter where we are in this world. Somewhere along the line in this world, if we travel around the world, and everybody who been on here and know me know that I love to travel. Because for me, traveling is education. Travel allow me to be brave and courageous, and to travel in my parents' legacy, in honor of my parents. And when I travel like that, I travel to go to the lowest because I want to hear the low story, because I don't want to hear the high story just yet. I want to know where the high story came from, because we don't just have a high story. We have a story that built up to get us here. And I like to travel and go where those stories are stagnant, or those stories got suffocated by society. I like to go into places where those stories are not flourishing. They just got stuck in the ground and mud, and nobody's putting water down, nobody weeding out the little weeds that there. So I like to go into those places and sit and say, talk to me and tell me about your story. Talk to me and let me know why you're not smiling. Talk to me and let me know why you're on the street. I like to sit, whether locally or internationally, it doesn't matter how I travel. If I go outside, I want to see somebody. I'm like, tell me, I would like to hear your story. What really is your story? Why is it that you're on the street? Why are you in the cold? And I come back and I check myself. I check myself and see how well or how appreciative I am for life, and how grateful I am. I like to show up in a gratitude way. Gratitude is not just an attitude. It is a key that opens us to our success. It is a key that opens us to our authentic self. It is a key that opens us to peace. When we are grateful and humble, we are more peaceful, right? When we are not grateful and content, we are aggravated, we are angry, we build up resentment, we are just chaotic. So it's not good. So it is so good to be at peace and to just be grateful. Be grateful, be humble and grateful, right? So, talking about my story and going around the world and letting people know that, oh, I can relate to you. I can relate to you sitting there in this kitchen. I can relate to you don't have much. I can relate to you having the same clothes. I can relate to you. What? And then they get surprised, like, what? No way. I'm like, yes, way. I can relate to you. That I sit there and I told a story last night of my mother where she have to feed her children. I mean, there are a lot of us. She had to feed her children and she had to make it work. We came from a farm, so we had food. We had natural food on the farm, right? The only thing that we didn't have on the farm was rice. But somehow it seemed that we had rice every day. Somehow we seemed that we had rice a lot, right? It seemed that we had rice a lot. But we didn't have rice, but we had food. And if you know what I'm talking about, you're from the Caribbean, I'm talking about the hard food, the yam and the banana and the potatoes and all that stuff. So if you're familiar with all of these things, that's what the kind of food that I grew up on, having this food from the farm. So I told a story last night of how my mother would feed her children. And she taught me, you know, your parents teach you some things, but sometimes teaching don't have to mean verbally. Teaching to mean that you show and you look and you pay attention of what is happening. And my mother taught me quite well how to share very, very early in life. Very, very early. She would sit there, and I told a story last night of how she would sit there with a dumpling, and she would get that dumpling and cut a dumpling probably up in 12 pieces, and she would just spread it out on your plate and feed you. And then she get one banana, cut it in half and feed you. But what we were never hungry, because when we did not get enough food on our plate, we had enough fruits to eat. We had enough fruits. So like, oh, your belly is full from the fruit. But guess what happened? We never went to bed hungry. So those are the things that we look, and I personally look back and be grateful that I grew up in the time that I did, that I could come here and sit up with my shoulder head up high and said, yeah, these are my story. These are my high story. These are the story that I would like to share with you. And if you would like to share yours as well, I say, come on in here and share them. So yeah, these are my story. Oops, hold on a second. So these are my high story that I would like to come on in here. And I hope that one of those stories can inspire you or impact you, because I'm not here to impress nobody. Absolutely not. You see, my parents went through a time where they never get the opportunity to write books. As you can see behind me, there are 3 books. There are 3 published books behind me. And actually, there's a 4th one somewhere. So there are 4 published books. My parents never get the opportunity to write a book. But guess what happened? That's my high story. I came from a parent, came from a community where they didn't have a published author. Here I am. I'm the first in the community. Here I am. That's my high story. So again, I'm not here to impress you. I'm here to impact upon you that my high story is my history. Okay? My high story is what's leaving a mark, an impact. That's what building up my legacy. So I want to come in and I want to talk to you something again. I want to tell you something again about my story. If you can relate, I'm putting it together. If you can relate, put that you can relate. So here we are, these little pieces of stuff. Look, if you look at my hand, these are little pieces of soap. Yeah, these are little pieces of bar soaps in my hand. Why do I have these bar soaps? Because I'm going to give you another story. I'm going to let you know of my high story again. These are my high story. These are my story where I'm coming from somewhere to get to this level where I'm saying like, hi, these are my story. This is the history. This is what I call history. These are the heritage. These are the cultural story. These are the cultural history story. It's not only black and white. These are not colored story. These are cultural story. These are history story. These are heritage story. These are traditional story. These are community story. These are family story. So it's not only black. No, it is us telling you where we are coming from. We're telling you what we went through. We are telling you how we made it out. These are pieces. These are pieces of soap, bar soap. If any Jamaican out there, y'all know, if you can name the soap, y'all go ahead and name the soap, right? And these are pieces of soap that when we use a bar soap, because of course, so many people using that bar soap. We got a nice big bar soap, and we using that bar soap. And when we use that bar soap, get that rag, and we use that bar soap, and we get down to this. We get down to this. And when we get down to this, are we going to throw this out? No, absolutely not. We are grateful. We are grateful. We are grateful. We are not going to throw it out. We are going to take it and we are going to rub it together. We're going to rub it together. Maybe rub it with our hand. Maybe rub it on our hand, because if we rub it on our wash rag, it's going to go out a little bit fast, because the wash rag take it out faster. But if we sit here and we'll put it in our hand and with our hand and rub it together, we're going to get a ladder in our hand. Use your hand to bathe yourself. Take it, and then when you finish with your wash rag, then you wash off. So honey, when you sit there, you can put it together. If you can, you might want to put all of the pieces of soap together, and you might just get a little bar soap. You might just result in a little bar soap. So darling, the culture is real, okay? And the stories are real. So yes, indeed. So you sit there, you're like, okay, because when you use the soap and you get down to it's very, very small, they start breaking up into pieces. So you might say, oh, this piece, yeah, okay, let me use this piece, because your sister, the sibling, somebody might come and they want a piece of soap. Here we are, you share a piece of soap with them. So you get a piece of soap, I get a piece of soap, and nobody complaining, oh, I don't got no soap, right? But sometimes somebody don't have no soap. Ella, sometimes somebody don't have no soap. What's your story? What's your history story? What is the story that you're building from? What is the story that you created? What is the story that was created around you? What is your story? What is your money story? Your finance, your family story? What is your story? That now you can say you're in your Heritage History Month, right? They're calling it Black History Month, but it's not only about Black History Month. It's about your heritage. It's not all about Black history. Is there White History Month? No. So we are talking about Black History Month? No. We don't. I'm not going to utilize the word Black History Month because if we are stuck on black and white, is there White History Month? Absolutely not. So we are not saying Black History Month, and I'm not taking that away from you. If you wish to go ahead and use Black History Month, go right ahead. But I'm just saying I would consider it. I would consider instead of saying Black History Month, I would consider your culture history month, your heritage history month. I would just use those words. I would just use those words instead of Black History Month. But by all means, it been imprinted. By all means, go ahead and use it. But my heritage store, my history, my heritage, my culture, my country, yeah, we have to use it. We have to use our culture because it is our culture and our heritage. It is our story that created history. Okay, it is our story of what we did, is what we survived, that are laws. Because if we are saying, okay, a Black man created this, what have you created in your family? Let's take this personal. What is it that you created in your family? Again, I created these 3 books. So should I just be considered, it's just like consider Black History Month? No. I want to consider that it is my heritage. It is my legacy. So I would say Heritage Month, right? I'm just saying, but if you don't want to use it, you don't want to use it. But me personally, just want to say it is Heritage History Month. It is Cultural History Month. Because I know it's not because I said I'm from Jamaica. I know it's not only Jamaican or Caribbean people that sit there and take this piece of soap and rub it together and make it into another piece of soap, or rub it together in your hand and lather it up on your body, or just take the one little piece and wet your body and go and rub it on your skin. So I know it's not only us. So it is a cultural thing. It's a cultural thing. So yeah. So we show up and we embrace our culture. We talk about our culture and we put in what we learn from our culture, and we exercise the right to show up with that, right? We exercise the right to show up with our culture and let that be our history story. I say, hey, hi, I have a story. And another thing that we did with these little pieces of soap as well, I think after a while, I think I started putting them in water and just shake the water like, hey, that's no, we upgraded to liquid soap. But if you want to create liquid soap, darling, get a bottle, put this piece of soap in there, or break it up really, really small, put this piece of soap in that water bottle, shake that up, get some, and then guess what? When you shake it up, you are going to get liquid soap. No matter what nobody says, you are going to get liquid soap. And because you are going to get liquid soap, what is going to happen? There you go. Liquid soap it is. Voila. So that is the thing. You take from something and you create something, right? When you take from something and create something, we move right along and we create history. History don't simply mean that the biggest invention, right? The biggest impact. No, history means that you have a story. That is what history is. Everybody's story is different. I told you that we are different, but we are one of a kind. We are different, but we are still one. So everybody's story is different. But at the end of this day, it is history, right? Now, with this same piece of soap, with this same piece of soap, I am so sorry. This is crazy. When I'm finished, I'm just going to lay down. With this piece of soap, so that went that way. But again, I want to talk something else about bar soap. Bar soap. It is the bar soap. No, we have nice bar soap that we bathe with, and a lot of people still use bar soap. A lot of people still take the bar soap and they wash around, but while a lot of people take bath by sitting in the bathtub with their little bubbles and stuff. Like right now for Valentine's Day, a lot of people probably having a nice little bubble bath set for them with their flowers and their champagne and candles and all sort of stuff. But I'm telling you, when we're talking about bath soap, we're talking about a bar soap. And I grew up using a bar soap to bathe with. But I'm telling you that to say that a bar soap was not only for the shower, a bar soap was used to wash. We wash by hand. Anybody out there that can relate, you're coming in here, come on in and say hi. We wash our clothes by hand with a bar soap. We take that bar soap and we rub on that clothes. We rub on that clothes, script, and we wash by hand. Honey, nobody was not thinking about having no false nails. Baby, we ain't know nothing about that, darling. We ain't know nothing about no false nails. False nails what? We ain't know nothing about no false nails. We ain't know I think our nails remain as this. We had my nails. We had no nails. We were like, oh, my nails coming off. Oh, my nail polish coming off. No, we had no nail polish. We didn't do no nail polish. We didn't do no false nails. We get into that top. We get into that wash pan. Mm-hmm. That wash pan, put the water up in there. And guess what? We get that bar soap. Not the same one that we bathe with. There were two different ones. One that we bathe with and one that we wash with. And when we wash with that, we sit there and we wash that clothes and just go hang it up on the line. So again, these are my story. What's your story, right? So all the time we go through life and we just think that history simply means for the big stuff. No, history is the little things that allow you to rise up to reach to this place so you can share it, right? So when we wash those clothes, sometimes you sit there, but you just sit in the sun and just go and just wash. But let me say, sometimes those were fun time. When we talk about fun, yeah, but sometimes they were not fun. Because now, listen, we went to school where we had to wear a uniform. We had to wear a uniform to school. Yes, we had to wear a uniform. We had to wear a uniform to school. And because we had to wear a uniform to school, we had to wash those uniforms. Come on now. Come on in here Friday evening. Take off that clothes. Put it ready. Saturday, we go and get that washing in because Saturday was the cleanup day. And again, this is why I tell you, it is culture. Because it's not only because I'm from Jamaica. It is culture because if you go somewhere else and Saturday, most likely, and Saturday is cleanup day. I'm not telling you no tale. If you are out there right now and you're watching this live, or if you by any chance will watch a replay, hashtag replay, and you are somewhere out there, tell me that Saturday was not your cleanup day because Saturday is a music playing and you're cleaning up. But let me tell you something about Saturday in my household. Saturday was cleanup day and that music is playing. Somebody probably, my mama, probably like, I'm going to the market or something. Right? So we had story. We had story. So again, what is your story? But I one more thing I want to talk to you about before as we pass those soap story. We pass those soap stories. So if you are out there using bar soap, washing your clothes and bathing with bar soap, not the fancy one that we have now, like fancy Dove and all sort of stuff now. No, we had some local bar soap. This was one of them. Okay, this red soap right here. If you want to have nice skin, darling, this soap. You have some form of scratch out on your skin, this soap. You want to wash off some germs, this soap. Yep, that was a soap. And now, let's go to something else. You see this? If you're out there, I'm telling you, this pencil was it. How did you sharpen your pencil if you didn't have a sharpener? Come on in here. This is called a question live show. I do ask question over here. This pencil right here, I want to show you the pencil. You see the point? And you see the top right here. If you are out there and you had a pencil, you had no sharpener, you go to school, nobody want to lend you their sharpener, no sharpener in the class, and all that stuff. Now it's upgraded where teachers have their nice little sharpener on the desk. But if you had this pencil and the pencil point is going down and it's going down and it's going down, and then you get to zip zap, almost nada, almost nothing. How did you sharpen your pencil? Hmm? How did you sharpen that pencil? And I know it is not only us. It is around the world. It's a cultural thing. How did you sharpen your pencil? There were so many ways that we learn how to sharpen our pencils. There's so many ways, right? No sharpener because you can't afford it. Sometimes you just can't afford some stuff. And this is why I encourage those of you out there who are at a wealth, a wealth spot. You're in a spot of wealth. You're in an abundance of wealth. Don't forget those who don't have wealth, because it's not richness. Because we had richness. We were rich. It's not about being rich. It's about being wealthy. Because you could be wealthy, but you're not rich. So if you are out there and you're wealthy, don't forget about those who are not. Don't forget that when I'm coming here to share this story, these are people that's still out there in the struggle, still out there trying to find a sharpener to sharpen their pencil. I made a trip 2 years ago and went to a school because I like to travel to go to these schools. And the school, I mean, the children they don't have pencils. They were literally sharing pencils. So can you imagine you sitting in your wealth and somebody sharing pencil? So somebody's getting left behind because the time I'm waiting for you to finish using your pencil, for me to borrow your pencil to work with, I'm going to be left behind. So you out there, you have that wealth. Expand yourself. Find that place of somebody in poverty. Find that place because culturally, somebody's struggling. But culturally, this is our story. It is our story. When we had no sharpener, is that we sit here and we peel off the little thing off the pencil, try to make a point. And sometimes the little lead broke, and we're going to still take that lead and write with it. My daddy once says, yeah, my father says, it's better to have a pencil without no point than no pencil at all. Take note of that. Take note of that. If you're watching this, take note of that. It's better to have a pencil with no point, simply mean none of this, than to have no pencil at all. Right? Because a pencil with no point, you figure what it can do. But sometimes the children can sharpen their pencil and the little lead comes out and they take the little lead trying to write with it. And I'll tell you, the last trip I took, they're sharing pens and I'm like, oh my God, how is this happening that you are in a school, a little school, and the school was the only school in the community? But I didn't, it didn't surprise me that that school was the only school in the community, right? It didn't surprise me. I came from a community where my school was the only school in the community as well. So I could relate to them. But somewhere along the line, the community, the school was accommodating children from different, but again, I could relate. So children were coming from adjacent communities. So it was like one school in like 6 different city coming to this one school. And again, the school was small. So it's accommodating these children and children struggling to learn. Why were they struggling to learn? They didn't have the tools. So I am encouraging you as we are going into this Black History Month, as you call it. I said, let it be our culture. As we are going into this, create history. Let somebody create history. Let somebody stretch yourself into a point of wealth. Stretch yourself into a point of sharing. Stretch yourself into a point of giving. Stretch yourself into a point of loving and people. Be compassionate and humble. We are here to lift up humanity. And as we are here to lift up humanity, we're not having only 1 month to do this or to acknowledge what somebody else did, some big invention somewhere. We are here to make awareness that in this month, culturally, we are falling behind because culturally, somewhere along the line, somebody is not having compassion. As we are creating history, Let us remember that creating history is not about the great impact, but it is saying that somebody who has no sharpener for their pencil to start writing the first letter of their dreams, the first letter of their vision, the first letter of their intention, their goals, is sitting there struggling in poverty. Let us remember as we are going into this Black History Month that some children somewhere do not have running water. And if they do have running water, it is stagnant. It is where they're eating out of garbage. It is where they're taking your garbage and they're making treasure out of it. It is where we are looking and saying, let us make history, where we show up for somebody. Where we show up and said, you don't have a pencil, you're borrowing from somebody, here is a pack of pencil. It is saying that you have a story, and one day your story is going to come from low to high, and it's going to come with a point where you're going to show up and say, hi, I have a story, and it's a high story, but my high story did not create it just now. My high story created where I have to sweat, I have to eat enough garbage, I have to walk, I have to use a piece of soap, I have to put together a piece of soap, I have to sit there and bite my pencil, I have to sit there and bite my eraser to see. Sometimes you have to bite this to make the eraser visible. And sometimes you have to find a way to take off this piece to make an eraser visible. So where are we making that impact? Where are we creating history when somebody is in poverty? Where are we creating history when somebody don't have a pencil? Where are we creating history? Where are we celebrating history when somebody is in poverty and sharing a pencil? Where are we creating history when somebody is saying, I need somebody to help me create my dream? Where are we creating history and celebrating history? Where are we creating history where somebody is sitting there eating out of the stench of the garbage, where somebody is sleeping, where another child is being the mother of their sibling? Why? Because their parents are no longer here. Where is that history making moment? We are here to encourage, I am personally here to encourage those of you who are in a position to stretch your hand out and say, I would like to create history in this month. Somebody right now need you. Somebody right now need you. Somebody right now is saying that where is somebody? I know somebody's out there. Call up on your help. Call up on your help. As I call on you, you call on somebody else. I am calling on you who are in position to come in place. And as I stretch out to you in position, you are in position of abundance. You are in position where you have more than enough. That somebody don't even know what the word enough is. I am calling out to you to come and let us work together with the spirit of collaboration. So what? We can feed the children. We can give them a piece of bread. We can give them a clean cup of water. We can give them a pencil to go to school. We can build a school for them. We can give them a uniform. I told you, and I'm going to say this again, the last place that I went to, children don't have uniform. They're coming to school because they're so eager to learn. They're coming to school with the intention to learn hungry. They're coming to the school dirty. They're coming to school dragging their dirty feet. They're coming to school with their broke sandals and their broke slippers and their broke shoes. And they're coming to school because what? They have an intention, because somewhere they get a glimpse of their story. They get a glimpse knowing that society is not what going to define their story, but they have to rise up. So I said, come together. Let us work with a spirit of collaboration. So what? We can have our story equipped. And when we show up, we must come up and say, hi, this is my story. What is your story in this month? What will you celebrate in this month? When I show up, I want to show up to take action. So as we continue to bring our culture together, as we continue to come and celebrate our culture, let me tell you, don't forget, your culture is your story. I'll see you on the next go around as we highlight more of my story. This is the Question Live Show host, Verona Willis-Brown. I'm about to go get some sleep and some tea. Yep, indeed. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to press, if you're not subscribed, subscribe, like, and share this video. And when you share this video, Do not forget to hashtag your culture, and do not forget to hashtag love. It is one love. We are here for one love. And because we are here for one love, we are here to share together. See you in the next go around as I go rest my voice. Talk to you later. We say see you. Ta-ta. Bye-bye. So long. Farewell. Mm-hmm.